ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another podcast of the Jekyll and Hyde Show. You call this a podcast? Yeah, sure. What kind of show some know-it-all expert is going to tell us about some rubbish disease called schizophrenia? Today we will be discussing the mental illness that is known to many as schizophrenia, and the effects it has on the individual and community. The topics we will be discussing in this podcast is the nature of the illness, the symptoms and effects it has on the individual, and the treatments that are being implemented to help cure this illness. Oh yeah, the community, they're the ones I'm after. We will also be joined by Professor Yin Yang from the French University of Black Noir, who will provide statistical, qualitative and quantitative information on schizophrenia. Now, to discuss more about the causes, treatments and stats on this extreme disease and its effects on the individual, we have been lucky enough to have Professor Yin Yang call in all the way from the French University of Black Noir. Professor, what are the actual causes of schizophrenia? What can it do to a person physically and mentally?
Well, Jekyll, the causes of schizophrenia are not fully understood, although it's likely to be a combination of hereditary and other factors. Some people, after constant research, that some newborns can have a weakness to develop this kind of illness, and certain things such as use of drugs, such as marijuana, can trigger their first episode.
So, what would you say the symptoms and causes are that associate with this illness?
Well, if you talk symptoms, you're talking about experiences, persistent symptoms called psychosis. Some of these symptoms include confused thinking, delusions, hallucinations, abnormal motor behavior, and other negative behaviors.
So, from learning about the effects of this disastrous disease, what would you say are the treatments to reduce this particular illness?
Well, Jekyll, treatment can do much to reduce and even eliminate the symptoms. Some of the treatments that can help prevent or treat this illness would consist of medication, psychological treatments, and community support programs.
So, is the safety within Australia's borders enough to protect its citizens? Do you happen to have any statistical information as well for us that could help support that? That's right.
Well, globally, 1 out of every 125 people have schizophrenia, which is about 70 million people worldwide. So, in many cases, it's not the matter about Australia's safety and people who are facing these traumatic events, but the solutions in which people are trying to implement in order to stop this illness from occurring. Australia's safety within the borders is quite efficient and has been improving over time. However, governments need to take more initiative in the safety and well-being of the citizens to prevent things like drugs, which is a major factor of schizophrenia, from repetitively occurring.
We'd like to thank Professor Yin Yang as he leaves our studios. Now that he's gone, let me tell you the real facts about schizophrenia. It's not real, and I'm going to get rid of Dr. Jekyll later tonight, if you know what I mean, so we don't have to hear any more of this rubbish. Well, I'm sure we've all learnt a lot about schizophrenia and its place in our society. I hope you, as the audience, think twice next time you're faced with someone who has mental illness, and display a greater level of understanding, tolerance, and compassion. Look forward to speaking with you in our next podcast. That is, if he leaves to speak about it.